It's up to you, Roller. Find out what's going on in there. And be careful.
Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and today I want to talk to you about the Modfans Ruller, the AL01, and this is a company that's brought us something before. I'll show that here when we get to the review, but it's a pretty good looking roller. Something that we've never really seen before is a roller that transforms into a figure, an actual character. Roller was a character himself, but not really a transformer. Didn't really transform. It's just more of an accessory. But now bringing it to life, really, it's kind of cool. And for 35 bucks, I did get this at ShowZ. You can get this yourself also. You can also go to ShowZ, pre-order the KO version of this guy, Bumblebee, and it's only like 56 bucks if you're interested in that TH reviewer code. But anyway, let's get into taking a look at Roller coming up. Quick look at the packaging. This is the box. It's very simple line drawing kind of stuff, but it is kind of cool. It is a $35 figure, so I'm really not expecting a whole lot out of the package. I am happy that they hit the price point. This company also brought this thing out for 25 bucks, and it was an upgrade kit for your MP36, and then it was really sorely needed because it had English phrases, I believe. It's been a while since I've actually used this. English phrases, and it had a couple of other fun things with it, and the back piece cleaned up the back a bit, but you kind of had to modify it. It only worked with some of the versions of the KOs and stuff, so maybe it worked better with the official. Alright, so box and packaging out of the way, I'm actually quite surprised at how good this figure looks and feels. It's quite impressive for the price point, for the more or less masterpiece scale, a little shorter than a Carbot, but really, it does work. I mean, how big would you expect a roller to transform into of a character? And it's actually, in my mind, it's a little bigger than I thought roller would transform into, so that's kind of impressive in itself. And so, yeah, it looks really good. It definitely does look the part. And with that, this is the silver one. They're going to be making a blue one also. I think that they both look cool, and I'm going to get both of them. And for the price point, why not? So let's take a look at him real quick. Now, his silver is kind of like a charcoal kind of a color to it. It's not like a bright shiny silver. I actually would have preferred like a real shiny bright silver, but this is what we got, and it does look good. It does look cool. Just I would have liked a really shiny silver, but you do have some I keep calling it VAG metal. I'm so used to that. It's a metallic paint on the visor, which is kind of cool. He has this chest panel here, which it opens up for transformation, but I don't know why this is in here. It almost looks like it would light up or something, but I'm sure it doesn't for the price point. So we've got that right there. That's kind of cool. And then getting into down here. Now, this is a shinier silver. So I would have liked the whole thing more like this, and maybe the accents be the darker color. That would have been cooler to me, in my opinion, but that's not the route that they went. But it still looks good. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't look good at all. It looks awesome. His knees have some yellow paint right there, and then going down here, some black accents on the bottom, a little bit of kind of some of the alt mode showing through with the red, and then in the back here, and then this back piece here can kind of fold up if you wanted to. This is a tailpipe kind of thing, the rear tailpipe exhaust. So anyhow, though, it does look great, and so let's go ahead and get into his couple of accessories. For accessories, he comes with two guns that actually combine to make one big gun. And so there's a small one, there's this one, and it's welding material, welding stuff. Here it is as a much longer gun. And so that is kind of cool, and it's sort of somewhat reminiscent of the original, but still at the same time it's its own thing. So that's pretty cool and interesting how they go about that. Now you can plug in this hose, and this is more for the alt mode, and then the hose can plug into here too, and then you've got this, and then this will plug into the side like so. And so this is something else that can be done, kind of like if that's a look that you want to go for, or if you want to kind of like connect it to the back and have it as a backpack or something along those lines. Either way, something like that, if that's something that you want. So there's different options for the accessories. That's pretty much all that you got going on for accessories, which is fine because this is technically an accessory itself, right? So getting into articulation, this thing feels like it's built relatively well, pretty solid. The head, you got up about that much, down about that much, and side to side. So not anything too crazy. Going out to the shoulder about to there feels a lot like the Lupus articulation when it comes to the shoulder. You got the bicep swivel. You've got a double joint on the elbow, and of course double joint for the transformation. You've got up and down a little bit on that hand, and then you have some ab crunch, just a little bit. It's not excessive on the ab crunch front, and then you got the waist swivel, and then you got old school hip flaps that fold up, and then this is purely friction, but since it's so small, it holds just fine. Goes back to there, and then to the side friction. But then you have these nice ratchets in the knee. Sounds really good, feels really good. But something's kind of strange with the knee. Like this knee cap cover is flush, but then when you take it down straight so we can stand up, the kneecap cover comes out. Now, it actually is almost unnoticeable. It's almost one of those things. It's like a design choice that they made that you barely even notice. But it doesn't sit flush unless his knee's bent. So it comes like that, which is strange, but it still looks fine. And it actually adds a little bit more interesting look to it. But I thought it was odd when I first started messing with it. I was like, did I do something wrong? But anyway, then you have the ankle tilt, and you have some down and up, and well, nothing up really, just some down. Now I do want to say that at first I was messing with him and I was like, wow, he can't stand very well, but he does have these heel spurs that have to come out, and once you get the heel spurs out, he's super solid. At first I was like, oh no, man, this thing doesn't stand very well. Let me see if I can do something, and found the heel spur right out the box. So that's something you're going to need to do right out the box. Okay, so for comparison, I think it's really important to compare him to a few key size scales. So here he is right next to MP44 and then the Magic Square, and they both do things different, Magic Square and MP44. But I want to say that, first of all, I think this is kind of the silver we're going to get. This might be a little bit shinier than this when we get the plus version of MP44, the next one that's coming out. But size-wise, scale-wise, I think it works great. I almost would have thought Ruller would have been a mini-bot size, but I guess this is sort of mini-bot size because we are going to compare him to the Carbots next. All right, here he is next to Takara's Prowl and Fans Toys Jive, their Jazz. And what's all the hubbub? Well, this is kind of how they look. Kind of funny, Hasbro is making a dead version of him for Target. That's kind of interesting. That's kind of cool. I'm kind of looking forward to that. And I just want to kind of showcase next to the mini bots. So a little bit bigger than mini bots for the most part. I think that I went with one of the taller mini bots, not the tallest. And kind of a standard, the Takara 2.0 official. And then we get over here to this one. And there's this guy. And that's the Fans Toys. So kind of get an idea of how he scales with the mini bots too. All right, so for transformation, we want to start out with, I'm going to start out with the arms over here. So we want to fold that down. Fold this down, and then we're going to lift this back piece here up. And I have a feeling I'm going to be, I hate the fact I use a spudger now. I feel like a hypocrite. But anyway, that's coming up. Then this piece here untabs and folds up and then tabs over onto that. Then this is going to come up onto here, and we're going to press that in, fold this wheel out, and we've got this, and then we could actually kind of flip it around. So we've got one side, and I'm going to try to speed this up. We have the second side. We do need to open this up, and it's going to double hinge down and tab in. Tab it in, tab it in. Same things there, slots there. We can flip the head around to the backwards, and then we can bring this around. Now have that up, but next thing we need to do is we need to lift these pieces up. Get that up and out of the way, like so. And then this is going to come up and over, and then we are going to need to flip these panels here down like so, and then we're going to hinge this in. So this is going to go into here. Prettier than I did it, I hope. But this is going to go into here. All right, just noticed the camera angle was kind of bad, so kind of stopped and let's get a better look at the camera angle. Now let's get this tabbed into place. Same thing over here. We're gonna work it in to all of this and get this. There's a tab into place here, like so, and then we have to tab these tabs into these slots, or if you don't tab it in, there won't be clearance. So it's almost kind of tight. It's almost like these are just recessed just a little too high, and it's kind of a pain. You got to kind of push down on it as you lift up on this. So push down on this and lift up on that at the same time, and then we've got to fold this down, and then we're going to rotate these around, and then this is going to sit back here. Now this goes in between these, and it's maybe I should have, let's pop one of these out. Let's see if we can make this go in a little easier. So slide that in like so, then push that up, then do the whole pop in, and that goes in there a little bit better. So you know, just one little area that's a bit of a challenge. There's the exhaust that we saw before, so kind of cleaning all that up. Now we're going to move around here to the legs, the lower part of him, and with that, bring this down just a bit. So we want to, let's move this piece up. You just lift it up and slide it up and tab it in. So that's nice and easy. Then we're going to come around here to the back, open the wheels, fold this out, and I really close that tab there. Then you just slide. This is on a slider, or feels like a slider. Maybe it's not a slider. Maybe it's a slight different mechanism, but it feels like a slider. Then we're going to tab that together. So I just took a second here. I'm not really sure why, but it's not holding, like the tabs don't hold it together. They give it some sort of lining up, but they don't hold it together. Here, pull the knees out like so. We're just going to, at the same time, fold this over, and I guess it really doesn't matter how you have the feet. And then it's tight. These are some nice, really nice and tight ratchets. And the fact you got the hips in there, and then we can just kind of fold it over, kind of clear the hip flaps, the knee ratchets nice, and all that kind of stuff. So then we've got all of this folded over, and just going around and tightening everything up, and we're pretty much there for the transformation of this guy. So it's really not terrible of a transformation. It's interesting, it's different, but yeah, there he is. There's Ruller, the ruler of Roller. Kind of cool. All right, so here he is in his alt mode, and it looks fine. It looks good. Again, I would have liked a brighter silver, like a much brighter silver. We'll see when we get it compared to Takara and, you know, all that kind of stuff, the MP44 roller. And then, of course, the original, it's not the G1, it's G1S. I've got the silver G1 one, but so looking at this, it rolls, it looks the part. I mean, you know, this is Roller. That is fantastic. And I wouldn't put it past them to make a third one that's super shiny silver. But now this figure has been a nightmare. As you can see, the arm fell off. These are not made well. This one goes with the Bumblebee that's coming out. The one that's coming out, hopefully it's a little better. The KO's a little better. Sometimes the KOs do better than that. But here he is. He fits in there, but it's a major amount of work, and it took me about 10 minutes to get him into this position because all of his joints fall off. Every single joint, the arms, the knees, the thighs. Anyway, but that didn't come with this. I really think we need better tiny humans. Dr. Wu, I think, is a master of the mini, and so with that, maybe there's going to be something coming from him. Maybe there already has been something, and I just haven't been keeping up with it, but yeah, this does look great. So let's get him out of the way because he's really it's really making me nervous having him even around. So this whole attachment here is kind of interesting. You can plug it into the side and plug it into here, or you can have another character hold it. Like, come here, Willie. We need to repair Bumblebee or something along those lines. So that's how all that works. That gimmick, I probably will never use it. But yeah, it's right there, and so not a whole lot of gimmicks. Now, he is going to be able to pull the trailer. When we get to that, we will be pulling the trailer. I think this should be plugging in. Oh, I went the wrong way with it. But so, yeah, I'll show you how to do the trailer and all that kind of stuff here in just a bit. And we will look at it just a little bit more. It's come with this little, it's not a light, it's just a transparent piece here that looks like a light. And so with that, I have left it up a little bit so it's easier to pull out when we put the trailer on. But looking at the paint apps, I mean, all of the paint apps from bot mode shine through into the alt mode, and we have the headlights on there. We got kind of like the side blinkers. We do have, on the wheels, we have some red kind of accent to it right there. So it's not a white wall, it's a red wall. It's like Redline. It's a Redline Hot Wheels. No, it's too big to be a Hot Wheels and too expensive, right? Like, maybe not. That's what he looks like from the bottom. So he looks pretty good overall. He rolls well. He gets the job done as a roller. So let's see what he can do holding a trailer before we get into some comparisons. So they did put a round peg into a square hole, which is never good, by the way. But they did it. You need a tool or something to get it out. I couldn't get it out by hand, which sucked. So this is set up like you got a small and a large, and that's kind of exactly the same as the MP10 trailer, or MP44, sorry, MP44 trailer. And it's also got the side slots here for the MP10 trailer. So it's like they thought of a lot here, and then we just kind of plug it in, and I'm doing that a little off camera there, but anyhow, that's pretty self-explanatory, and so let's do a little bit of rolling with Roller. Welcome to another episode of Rolling with Roller. Today he rolls with the MP44 trailer, so let's get a better shot of that. And it is articulated, it does move around, all that kind of stuff, so pretty much what you'd expect. And then, I know everybody's going to ask, so I'm just going to show it. Does he fit in the back of the trailer, which... yeah, he does. Why would that matter? Because that's his home. This is where he goes. So yeah, he fits just fine. Rolls in and out of there, and so that works. So now everybody's wondering, how does he compare to the MP44 roller? He is bigger than MP44's roller, and so with that, now I don't have the 10 anymore. I sold that off to a friend of a friend that really wanted it, and then he sold it for like half of what he sold. Oh, I don't know. It was crazy. But anyhow, this is still really cool to have it bigger, but everything still work well with the MP44 set and probably the MP10 set. So the way I view it, if it works with the MP44, it should work with the MP10. They're scaled about the same size, so the same scale and all that kind of stuff. But I might be wrong on that one, but that's how I feel. How does it compare to a G1? So I have this one here, and I was going to take a standard blue one and take the wheels off, but I don't have very many. Oddly enough, I don't have very many rollers. I thought I would have had more rollers than I do, and so eventually I'll just do a wheel swap so I can have the gray and the blue, of course. But I will pull the blue one out of the box for the blue comparisons when I get the blue one, so there's that. Size comparison to the Magic Square Prime, the newer one, and Hot Rod, so Takaro's Hot Rod. So kind of getting an idea of how big he is, how he scales with Masterpiece. I think that he scales relatively well with Masterpiece, and it works. So this is my look at the Modfans Ruller, their take on a G1S transforming roller, turning in the character into a bot, which is pretty cool. And I do want to say that I'm impressed with the price point, $35. I'm impressed with the way it looks and feels and handles, and I'm impressed with both modes. I think it's a really good vehicle figure all around. They're also coming out with the blue one. I think that they're both looking kind of cool looking. I'm going to get both, and I'm going to compare both and all of that. But I do want to say it does feel like it's older style of engineering, and it does feel a little bit limited in the articulation. But for the price point, like, I'm not upset at all. I'd love to see this company make more complementary pieces like this that nobody else is going to make. This is exciting because there is no one else making this. It's also exciting because it's not the same character for the fourth time going, yeah, great, and same characters, another jazz. So with that, I'm glad to have it. I did get this at Show Z. You can get yours there too. I'll have a link down below. Put in TH reviewer code, support me, so I can get more of these and show you all of the different stuff that's coming out. Like, subscribe to Titanium Hanger out.
Roller!
Down but not out.